We're going back 40 years to take a look at the number one albums of 1985. Up first, Purple Rain. Purple Rain was released on June 25th, 1984, and it peaked at number one on the Billboard 200 album chart on July 14th, 1984. It held the top spot for 24 weeks, which is why it is the first number one album of 1985. When Doves Cry, released on May 16, 1984, served as the first single from the album. It peaked at number one on the Billboard Hot 100 chart on July 7, 1984, and held the top spot for 5 weeks. The second single to be released from the album was Let's Go Crazy. It was released on July 18, 1984. It also reached number one on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, taking the spot on September 29, 1984, and hanging on to it for 2 weeks. The third single released from the album was the title track, Purple Rain. It was released on September 26, 1984, and peaked at number two on the Billboard charts November 17, 1984. The fourth single from the album was I Would Die For You. It was released November 28, 1984, and it peaked at number 8 on the charts in February of 1985. The fifth and final single from the album was Take Me With You. It was released on January 25, 1985, and it peaked at number 25 on the chart in March of 1985. And while the song Darling Nikki was never released as a single from the Purple Rain album, it did end up on Tipper Gore's radar. It also ended up on the PMRC's Filthy 15 list. I Would Die For You, Baby I'm a Star, and Purple Rain were all recorded live on August 3, 1983 at a First Avenue show in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This makes Purple Rain Prince's first album to contain live recordings. According to an interview with Lisa Coleman, Purple Rain was originally intended to be a country song and a collaboration with Stevie Nicks. But when Stevie got the music for the song from Prince, she felt overwhelmed and said she couldn't work on the project. The tour promoting the Purple Rain album started at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan in November of 1984. I'll see you next time with our second number one album from 1985, Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. Later, dudes.